So, before we head to the Citadel, even without Geth and suits, we're getting some nice upgrades. Geth code plus Quarian ingenuity is something to see. Shepard, I've been getting a number of requests from people wanting to join my engineering team. It seems that everyone wants to serve on the Normandy now. And to think, the Admiralty Board tried to humiliate me by calling me Vas Normandy. I talked to Adams, and he seems eager to add more experts who could help improve the ship's performance. I've added their details to the crew manifest. Really? Is that so? Huh. Wait, now I can change who I want to be my chief engineer? I can either have Adams be my chief engineer or Tally. Oh. Oh. I mean, honestly, I think actually this makes sense to have... I mean, I know Tally being an admiral is kind of a formal thing, but it does make sense that an admiral would have higher authority than a lieutenant. And if you... Look, I love Adams, okay? But if we were to think of who could possibly be the one who knows a ship best, especially the Normandy, would it be Adams or would it be Tally? Now, I know some would probably make a good case for Adams, and that's fine. That's totally fine. After all, we see his credentials here. His service record, his dossier, awesome. But, I mean, this is Tally. This is Tally. So let's go ahead and, yeah, let's have Tally be our chief engineer. And let's see, where's this area about extra engineers? Ah, here we go. Okay. Virtual Geth software specialist bonuses improves performance of Helios thruster module. Huh. Interesting. Ken Rador Vas Tabra, engine and salvage specialist, allows installation and maintenance of Quarian Ezo afterburner. Wait, is this the guy we actually helped get off Omega? It is! This is the same guy we helped get off of Omega. You guys remember him, right? Back in Mass Effect 2? Once he returned to the fleet, he implemented some technical schematics he discovered while on Omega, enabling his team to improve engine speed at both sublight and FTL travel. Eager to repay Shepard's kindness, Ken Rador was one of the first to volunteer to serve aboard the Normandy. That's awesome! Zara Wen Vas Alzkor, scanning technology specialist, improves performance of Argus planetary scanner. Zarwin's experience on board several patrol fleet ships has allowed her to focus her talents on astrometric scanning systems and stellar cartography, enabling comprehensive scanning of large areas of space. Due to her expertise, her ship was one of the first to pierce the enigmatic Perseus Veil in order to survey the Geth systems in preparation for the Quarian assault on Rannoch. For her pilgrimage, she became an indentured servant on Ilium. Wait, is this the Quarian who was in that contract who we helped get working for several tech companies before escaping with some highly sensitive software to take back to the migrant fleet? Even though she is still wanted by the authorities in Ilium, she's highly regarded by Admirals Zen and Ron. So this was the one we helped get a contract with that company, and apparently she escaped and is still wanted by Ilium. Wow! I love this. I love that they are making... This is the kind of stuff that players wanted in the first place back in vanilla. And I love that these mods, this is the Spectre expansion mod for Mass Effect 3, I believe, where this is actually adding stuff that's like, I doubt this would be here if I didn't do that side quest back in Mass Effect 2. And I love that they are making these little tiny quests actually matter, actually come back to pay off here, where she can actually provide some kind of engineering buff, just like this guy did. Unit 651.35E. AI and Systems Integration Specialist, improves performance of Armax ship defense system. Runtime focus on dynamic replication and implementation of Geth into other less advanced hardware. This enables it to replace many simple VI programs with more advanced Geth runtimes and improve the performance of the ship defense system. Milk Serum Vas Jovis, ship defense specialist, improves performance of the ship defense system. Manage the ship defense systems for one of the pillars of the Quarian Heavy Fleet, the Jovis. He has been commended several times and comes with the recommendations of not only his captain but also Admiral Garrel. Engineering, just Geth. Systems Specialist, improves performance of planetary scanner. Geth is a platform housing runtimes that focus on ship systems. It has refused to have its platform named with a traditional standard, not understanding organics need for such conventions. Despite its quirks, allowing it access to the Normandy systems will improve the data processing time for the Argus planetary scanner. After informing Edie that it also has the ability to increase efficiency of other essential systems, including the coffee machine, by as much as 38%, Edie began affectionately calling it Java. Oh, that's really funny. So let me go ahead and read this then. Several of this unit's active runtimes date back to a Quarian vessel during the time of the Morning War. Having transferred itself to Rannoch prior to the Quarians' retreat from their home system, the programs were later installed on the majority of Geth ships with the addition of the Reaper upgrades. This unit has chosen to forego a physical platform in favor of a hollow projection. The hollow projection has also proven to be less intimidating to the organics with which it works. While Edie's processing power may rival a small network of Geth, this specialized unit also links with the data archives of the Geth consensus, allowing it access to hundreds of years of research, simulations, and improvements to thruster technology. This allows for real-time optimization and a substantial upgrade to the Helios thruster module on board the Normandy. Like, having some of these Geth helping out sounds really cool, but I'll be honest, getting these two here, these two that I directly helped back in Mass Effect 2, I'm actually really inclined to have these two. I think that's actually really awesome. As cool as it would be to have these Geth on board for that, I think having these two Quarians who I directly helped back in the day, now here to help repay what we did for them working alongside Tally, I think is actually really, really cool. Plus, apparently this also lets me be able to install something else, another afterburner upgrade for the Normandy. So now we have a couple of other Quarians here to really help add to the Normandy. I think that's so cool. That is really cool. I don't think we have any new, like, things here, at least not yet. But this probably means we need to go downstairs into engineering and take a look at that stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. By the way, in case you're wondering, there's a few little things that we've gotten here so far. The main thing, obviously, that you're probably wondering about is the big boost to Quarians, which is the three big fleets, the civilian fleet, the heavy fleet, the patrol fleet, and Zen. And then, of course, there is the Geth, which is the Geth Core, which is 305, which the interview helped, and then the Geth Fleet, 450 points alone for the entire Geth Fleet, which is a big deal. By the way, here's a little note in case you're wondering. Rewriting the Geth Heretics significantly boosted the processing power of the true Geth. Their increased strength made their fleets both more efficient and lethal in battle. So that's why it's part of that whole, like, are you, if you have moral conflicts or dilemmas about rewriting or killing the heretics, comparing, rewriting to brainwashing, this is the payoff if you decide to still go that route, is being able to, once you have gone this far and have actually helped bring peace between the Geth and Quarians, that the heretics just add a whole bunch more to the Geth in general. So, yeah. There she is. Oh, do we now get more fuel for this game? And more... Well, that would be great if I didn't already have that mod to basically have a whole, tons of scanning range, but whatever. And there he is. That is awesome that they're both down here. Love that.
Commander.
Commander.
Nothing to report.
No hard feelings, right, Adams? Naming Tally, you know, the one in charge on here? Hope not. But he's loved Tally ever since the first moment she stepped on the Normandy back in the first game, so I'm sure he's cool with it. He'll probably have some fun with the whole, you know, saluting to her, you know, with her being an admiral and he's just a lieutenant, and she'll be like, "Stop it, Adams.
You're cleared
Quit
to
playing around."
Do you need ground transport?
I'll handle it.
Yes, Commander.
So I found a few things while I was out and about, going to the different systems. So there's a few people I need to talk to here. A couple people at the embassies, 2 people at the hospital, an Elcor at Purgatory, a researcher and Tally at the Presidium, and a refugee in the holding area. So basically I have to go to every floor.
I've got your briefing, Private. Let's fill you in before the squad arrives. The Alliance is posting us to an Ezo mining facility on Zani. It's a low-gravity planet, toxic atmosphere. You'll be expected to...
I think that conversation just started over, so... I was hoping there was going to be somehow some extra dialogue there, just kind of acknowledging, but then I realized, oh wait, the people who mod this probably are not able to actually do that. I mean,
Now arriving at
if they could somehow, that'd be amazing, considering that they would have to somehow get new lines of dialogue from the voice actors, or, you know, try to somehow mess around with the existing voice lines to make it work.
Excuse me. I'm Commander Shepard. If you promise to be careful, I've got something for you.
A Reaper code fragment. Yes, I can use this to try to predict their strategic processes. We might be able to save a few worlds with this, Commander. Thank you.
Oh, never mind. That would have triggered the mission, because that's the Asari counselor waiting for us. Nope, we're not talking to her yet.
Now arriving at Docking Bay E-24, emergency civilian housing.
There's someone here I need to talk to. Bay... Okay.
Hey!
Oh. Hey, it's you.
After heavy fighting, the Alliance
Son of a bitch.
I found a Prothean sphere on Gay Hinnom. Contact the Alliance and tell them Commander Shepard asked them to pay you for it.
Yes, thank you. I'll call them right now.
Nice. Forces have claimed the Argus rogue cluster after heavy fighting. Reports also have them entering the Perseus Vale near Geth Space. Reaper forces have been sighted in the Parnitha system, within striking distance of Vesia.
Spectre status recognized. One moment, please. Now arriving at Huerta Memorial Hospital.
Excuse me. I recovered the rings of Elune. They're waiting in Bay D-24.
That's wonderful. Thank you. My people will treat this miraculous find as a call to support their local hospitals.
I'm sorry, that got a little weird there, because I heard Shepard say the rings of Elune, and then all of a sudden I'm hearing Laura Bailey talking, and I'm like, Jaina?
Welcome to Serta. Thank you for shopping.
Because, you know, you hear Elune and then you hear Jaina, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, am I all of a sudden playing World of Warcraft?
I came across this treatment plan at a chemical plant. Could it help?
Treatment? What is... I've never seen this kind of process before.
Huh. Probably experimental. It's a long shot, but let's run some tests and see if it might work for our patient.
To the Reapers when Elysium was attacked.
It's a shame that apparently this was the best that they could do with these side quests. It would be awesome if some of these side quests were just done outright better. You know? Just make them a bit more interesting. Okay, so the courtyard. I think Tally's got an interesting conversation for us here.
Refugee camps in the Citadel are straining existing resources. The council reports that food shortages may happen in the near future.
I've recovered the obelisk of Karza. It's waiting for you in Bay D24.
You have? It's amazing. Thank you, Commander. That's going to help immeasurably with some very sensitive work.
Whatever you say.
First time since the Ragnar War, the Asari homeworld of Thessia attacked by alien forces.
Of course. We can have ships at the colony in 36 hours. Do you need medical support?
No, evacuating the colony is more than enough. Thank you, Ambassador.
Ambassador?
I'm coordinating actions for the fleet while we're here. Evacuating colonies, bolstering Turian defense lines. Huh. I think it was right here. 3 years ago to the day.
What?
This was where Saren's assassins fired at me. I'd just gotten to the Citadel. I didn't think I needed my barriers up. My mistake.
Refresh my memory. Again, new players!
Saren had assassins after you?
Right. I disabled the Geth and found that recording that proved he was working with the Reapers. I went to Ilium and tried to inform the authorities, but Saren's mercenaries attacked me. I barely escaped. I stowed away on a Turian freighter and came out here. I thought I was safe.
Thank you, BioWare, for treating me as if you think I don't have any sense of memory.
You never told me about this. How bad was it?
Got me in the arm. They used polonium rounds. I was running a fever in minutes. It was the first time I'd been really hurt on my pilgrimage. I ran to the council embassy, asked for protection, offered the data on Saren. The Turian clerk called me Soot Rat. He threatened to have me tossed off the station if I didn't leave.
I wish that clerk could see you now.
He just did. That was him back there. I don't think he remembers me.
And you're assisting him in spite of that.
This war is too big for old grudges. You showed me that. We're at peace with the Geth. I can't waste my time on a Turian who made me angry. Besides, it all worked out. I made it to the wards. You found me. Happy ending.
And now the Turians will get the aid they desperately need.
I nearly reminded him who I was. Made him apologize, rubbed his nose in it. Maybe he and I both needed to grow up a little.
The difference is that you helped when it counted.
Thanks, Shepard. So did you. Everything looks so peaceful. In here, you can almost forget about the war. I never get tired of looking at this place. I never thought they'd let a Quarian up here. The Presidium is so beautiful. Everything looks so peaceful.
Alright. One more stop before we go to Dr. Bryson's lab. We gotta go talk to an L-Core.
Spectre status recognized. One moment, please. Now arriving at ward level, Purgatory.
I recovered the Code of the Ancients from Dakuna. It's waiting for you in Bay D24.
With shock and joy. Really, this is wonderful news. Thank you, human. Sincerely, this will greatly aid our people.
Okay, I think that's everyone. Yep, alright. Let's go see this Dr. Bryson. that off the screen, game.
I want you to match this against all known locations and update the map. Then contact the field teams for a progress report.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Commander Shepard. We've been expecting you. Just a moment. And Hadley, could you gather the Leviathan data for us? Apologies, Commander. The rest of my team is out investigating leads right now. I'm Dr. Garrett Bryson, and this is Task Force Aurora.
What's your assignment?
Our mandate is to investigate legends, rumors, old stories about the Reapers before anyone knew they existed.
That's an interesting goal, but is anyone doubting the Reapers exist these days?
The Alliance is still desperate for intelligence. Reaper motives, their operational tactics. Anything that can give us an edge.
And how did you wind up in charge?
When the rest of the galaxy says something doesn't exist, I take that as a chance to prove that it does.
So you're in it for the challenge?
For the truth. Even as late as 2148, humanity still thought aliens were a myth. That was within my lifetime. Once that myth was proven to be reality, our entire history changed.
Reapers were part of that reality, too.
But even they have a history, Commander. If we can just uncover it, there may be a weakness we can exploit.
I could have used your help 3 years ago.
Yes. If people had paid more attention to your Prothean beacon, we might not be in this war. But now with new information we've uncovered, a breakthrough's near. Hadley, do you have the data?
No!
For a moment, it wasn't letting me click it.
This is Commander Shepard. I need C-Sec at my location, now!
You shouldn't be here. The darkness can't be breached.
Transit records show his name is Derek Hadley. He's worked here for a couple months.
Shepard, I monitored a C-Sec alert from this location. Were you harmed?
I'm fine, but I could use your help sorting this out, Edie. Take a look through their files. I need to know what this task force was up to.
At once.
What? What's happening?
You tell me.
I was gathering our data when you arrived, and then it was dark. Cold. Like I was someplace else.
And then?
I don't know! A gun was in my hand. Dr. Bryson. There was a loud noise.
That was you shooting him.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. You have to believe that.
So someone else pulled that trigger.
But I would never do that!
Commander, this does resemble reports of indoctrination.
Indoctrination? Me?
What about that Leviathan Bryson mentioned? How does that tie in?
It's some kind of creature. Our field teams have been tracking it. That artifact came in from our researcher, Garneau. He sent an audio log if you wanna...
What's wrong?
Turn back.
What are you talking about?
The darkness cannot be breached.
Damn it, get him over to the clinic. See if they can tell us what's wrong with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Commander, you'll want to see this. It's an outgoing message from Dr. Bryson to Admiral Hackett.
Dr. Bryson, you have an update? Admiral, the Leviathan of Dis that we've been investigating, I think we're really onto something. Give me the brief. About 20 years ago, the Batarians discovered a Reaper corpse that had died in battle. They covered it up and denied it ever existed. But I'm intrigued by the larger implication. What could have killed the Reaper in the first place? Exactly. That's the real Leviathan. It's worth pursuing. Continue your investigation and update me on the progress.
There is also a follow-up message from a few weeks later.
Admiral, the Reapers are shadowing my field teams as if they're hunting Leviathan themselves. Whatever it is, I believe Leviathan is nothing less than a Reaper killer. Almost an apex predator, and it has them nervous. If we could just find it, imagine the impact on the war. I'm formally requesting assistance in tracking it down. You'll have it. This is now your top priority, Doctor. Find that thing.
It appears we were meant to be that assistance.
Anything capable of killing a Reaper could do a lot of collateral damage.
Yet given the state of this conflict, I believe the saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," may be relevant.
But we won't know unless we can find it.
Bryson's assistant did say they recently received a log from their field researcher. It may yield more information.
You've been watching some movies, haven't you, Edie?
This must be the artifact the assistant mentioned. And here's the log.
Dr. Bryson, it's Garneau. I'm sending you an artifact I found. About the only thing I found there, in fact. Maybe it's nothing, but I'd swear Leviathan came through here. I'm gonna crunch some numbers. Burn up the rest of this project travel allowance. Maybe I can project our Reaper Killer's movements. I'll check in when I get to the next site.
Garneau appears to be our best lead to track Leviathan, but he does not state a destination.
Let's focus on what he does say, then.
He mentioned extrapolating Leviathan's path.
And crunching numbers. He wasn't flying blind. He had data.
A significant amount of data, judging by this office.
So how do we narrow it down?
Bryson and his colleagues evidently used a galaxy map search program in their hunt for Leviathan. It may help us locate Garneau.
Just ignore the skulls on the table there. Just ignore that.
Does this tell us where Garneau went?
No. But we may be able to narrow down his location if we find clues he was using in his search for Leviathan.
Notice how now the doors all of a sudden open up.
Is this Prothean?
Yes. I believe Dr. Bryson and Liara would have had much to discuss.
Can you add a search filter for locations known to have Prothean ruins or artifacts?
Adding the search filter, you may examine the results on the Galaxy Map program. These are all murders in which the accused lacked a known motive and claimed memory loss.
Just like Bryson's assistant. You think Garneau was following a trail of blackout crimes?
It is possible. We need to find data matching dates and locations for crimes of this nature.
Here's the time and date chart for the crimes. Can you filter for murders where the killer claimed memory loss?
Adding this search filter to the Galaxy Map.
Alright, let me take a moment to say something here, because I probably haven't yet. This DLC is actually really controversial amongst players. There are some I have seen that absolutely love this DLC and say that it's their favorite DLC. They absolutely think it's awesome. They love the extra lore that it adds. And then I've seen other people absolutely hate it and despise it and just hate that it did something that they didn't want, which was add a backstory to the Reapers. Basically, this DLC explains where the Reapers came from, and there's a lot of people that didn't want to know that. They didn't want to know where the Reapers came from. They liked the whole, they remain a mystery, and we never know where they came from. It's all, who knows? And I understand that, but at the same time, it's like what I was saying in Dragon Age about how that's something people also feel about the Darkspawn, that they don't want to know because they think there's power in mystery, and it's better if we don't know where they came from because it makes them more interesting of an evil force and such. But I'm not one of those people. Here's another example of a powerful villain force that I would put on par with those two different forces, but more so, the Burning Legion from Warcraft. And yet we know where the Burning Legion came from. We know their origins and their backstory. But to me, that doesn't make them any less of a threat or less interesting of a threat. But that's just me. To me, even knowing where they came from and their backstory, still knowing what they can do and how much of a threat they are, is what really matters. I'm one of those who just kind of likes to know, okay, I see, and this makes sense. So, I'm one of those who likes to know where they came from, regardless of that, because I'm not really into that mystery thing. So you could probably say that I'm one of those that actually does like this DLC, and there are certain elements to it I like as well. Not just the part about learning about the backstory of the Reapers and about the Leviathan, but there's also other elements to this DLC as well. Like there's kind of like a almost a detective kind of element here, like what's going on right now, almost like a murder mystery kind of thing to it. And there's also a really creepy element throughout this DLC. Especially as we will see when we go to the first location we're supposed to go to. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and comment on that, because I know that this DLC is very polarizing to a lot of people. Like, I'm not going to try and like shame anyone that does dislike it or anything. That's fine. That if you feel that way, that's up to you. But if you're hoping to, like, I don't know, convince me that to not like it or anything, I like it, and that's all there is to it. I'm not one of those that complains about finding out where something came from. That's something I am personally completely fine with. I like knowing about these things. Whether it's good or bad, that's a whole different matter. But just the whole I would rather not know, that's not really something that is from, that I particularly kind of roll with. I prefer to find out and then determine if I think it's good or bad, or if I like it or not. So even if I didn't like this, I would still like to know.
Loch Ness Monster?
Plesiosaur.
Loch Ness Monster's more interesting.
Interesting and non-existent.
I mean, that's a skeleton right there, Edie. Just saying.
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
This does not seem relevant at the moment.
March 7th, 2186. I'm looking at the Rachni. Their movements during the Rachni Wars suggest alien influence. But the timing is wrong, and Rachni weren't implanted with Reaper tech. What if Leviathan was preparing the Rachni to fight the Reapers?
What do you think, Edie?
It is possible that Bryson's team is using ancient Rachni fleet activity to find Leviathan. If we can find data on the movement of ancient Rachni ships, it may help us narrow our search. Those appear to be sightings of ships that match Rachni signatures.
Can you add a cross-reference for locations of sightings?
Adding the search filter now.
The collector sniper rifle.
Meteorite fragment, maybe?
He was studying it as an object of importance. We should look more closely at a sample.
Meteorite sample with traces of element 0. Would Leviathan need Ezo?
While it is not consumed as fuel during FTL travel, element 0 will decay after several centuries of active use. If Leviathan is old enough, it would need to replenish its supplies.
Okay. Can you give me a search filter for locations with element 0?
Adding it now.
The Thorian. On August 17, 2185, the Thorian, a life form discovered on Pharos, provides fascinating insight into the life cycle of a truly alien species. Unlike conventionally intelligent life, it does not use mass relays. Prothean artifacts would not interest it. Commander Shepard claims that Reaper enemies cultivated life to evolve along lines they could predict, using technology the Reapers controlled. The Thorian is an exception to that rule. It evolved to use organic tools rather than conventional technology. Leviathan must be somehow similar to have survived undetected for so long. The Thorian used pain conditioning to control its victims, using them as manual labor, or even as a man would use his own hands and fingers. Commander Shepard claims the Reapers do the same thing, though a different process called indoctrination. Through a different process called indoctrination. Whatever Leviathan is, it must do something similar.
Bryson was tracking unexplained creature sightings.
Bryson was not merely tracking sightings. He was attempting to extrapolate a course.
And Garneau could have been following that course. Edie, can you add a search filter for systems along that projected path?
Doing so now.
Sir, this is Bryson. We know the Reapers are after Leviathan. Studying Reaper hunting patterns could be vital to finding it.
That data is classified top secret, Dr. Bryson. If it falls into the wrong hands...
It won't. The data's encrypted. I'll keep the decryption key safe. Close to my heart.
Close to his heart. The hell does that mean?
The Reaper fleet activity is encrypted, per Bryson's statement in the log.
He said he was keeping the decryption key close to his heart. Sovereign, vanguard of our destruction. How's that working out for you, big guy?
How amusing is it that Shepard gets to have one last word here with Sovereign?
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
Records indicate Anne is now 28. She works for the Alliance.
Bryson was keeping the encryption key close to his heart. What's closer than family?
An interesting hypothesis, but I detect no trace of the decryption key in this... art.
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
Records indicate Anne is now 28. She works for the Alliance.
Bryson was keeping the encryption key close to his heart. What's closer than family?
Another piece of Anne Bryson's childhood art.
Wait a minute. Well, take a look at that.
I can use these numbers to construct a decryption key.
All right, let's get back to the data pad we found earlier.
Dr. Bryson, per your request, I'm clearing Task Force Aurora for intercepted Batarian communications regarding the Leviathan of Dis.
Commander, the Dreadnought is in custody, but the Solarians may have surveillance footage. Our ambassador will issue a full denial. Give me your preliminary analysis. Several million years old at least, and its technology outstrips anything on the Council. Excellent. Our scientists will work day and night to bring its secrets to the hegemony. One concern, Commander. The real Leviathan of Dis, the thing that destroyed the ship, is still out there, unaccounted for. Irrelevant. The ship is our priority. And as far as the rest of the galaxy is concerned, there is no Leviathan of Dis. There never was.
Decryption complete. Analyzing data. These movements do not match the standard invasion pattern. The Reapers are searching for something.
And I'll bet Garneau used this intel. Can you make a search filter for it?
Of course.
Alright, so that's all possible filters. Now comes the fun part.
Reaper activity.
Based on the search results, Garneau is in one of these 5 systems. I have marked the Normandy map with possible locations. We can leave now, unless you wish to further narrow the search.
Blackout crimes.
No results. Some of our search parameters may be irrelevant. 5 possible systems.
Alien sightings.
Three possibilities.
Element 0 deposits.
We have a match, marking the galaxy map.
Good. Let's go find Garneau.
All right.
Hello, Shepard.
Commander.
Let me check if any new messages came in. Sorry, for a moment I thought I saw a little red circle there.
Commander, Admiral Hackett is available in the war room on VidCom.
Yes, I'm sure he is. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay. I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to get there. But anyways, when we return, we will be trying to find this Dr. Garneau to see what he knows about the Leviathan. Stay tuned.